All right, welcome back to the Watch and Learn Hoops Academy. It's your boy Hugo Black. Let's take a second to talk about Jayson Tatum. He has a lot of Celtics fans really excited right now because apparently he finally fixed that jumper. Now, we all know that Jayson Tatum's form has always been a little clunky, I'll say, but throughout his career, you've never looked at Jayson Tatum and said he can't shoot, at least until recently, the playoffs and the Olympics. Now, just to give a little context, right? 1920, Jayson Tatum shot 37% from three in those playoffs. In the 2021 playoffs, he shot 38.9% from three. 21-22 playoffs, 39.3%. That's a good shooter. Now listen, 22-23 playoffs, 32%. So he's on a decline. This past playoffs, 23-24 playoffs, he shot 28% from three. So clearly, in the last 2 years, something happened to his jumper, and the fans want to figure out what, right? In the NBA Finals, he shot 19% on pull-up jumpers. That is awful. And then think about this in the Olympics. In the exhibition games in the Olympics, he was 0 for 10 on jumpers. 0 for 10, not a 1. Then once the Olympics actually started, games that mattered, he went another 0 for 6 on jumpers. And people wonder why he was benched. Because if you think about it, everybody out there can play defense, but clearly everybody out there couldn't shoot. So now Jayson Tatum, he made a little bit of waves when he even came out himself and said that he made some mechanical changes to his jump shot.
Been working with my trainer, Drew. A few mechanical things, pick up points, hand placement, getting lower, keeping my shoulders forward and things like that.
All right, so now let's look at his form and see if he's actually making the changes that he said, right? So his pickup point, right? Let's see if he's picking up the ball from a different place, right? So we're back at the beginning. Let's go slower. Now here he caught high. In the first video, he caught low. But let's see. In that first video, he has the ball all the way down here at his waist. You see how close this is to his waist? It's pretty much touching his hip. On this side over here, doesn't get that close. There's still distance. The ball gets low, but it does not come here, right? So that could be from where he caught the ball, or that could be a change he made, right? He said getting lower. I can see right now, to me, it looks like he's doing a better job of bending at the waist and getting low. He looks to be lower, right? And he looks to really be powering up through his legs. You see here, he's bent, but his back is still straight up, right? So now when it's time to shoot, on this side, he's able to power, lift up through the shot. It looks like his hand is a little bit underneath the ball, better at getting underneath the ball. Like here, he's up into his shot. Over here, it's almost like when he finally gets his hand under the ball, he just kind of flings it because there's no power. Getting lower, it definitely helps the power and the fluidity, right? You can see on this side, there's no power low. It gets to the top, and he has to use his shoulders and kind of thrust the ball forward with his arms, right? The other thing he said is just getting his shoulder forward. I think right here is very clear. That front shoulder is forward. Here, he's a little bit more square to the basket. Even his feet placement, right? Over here, his body's turned more. Over here, he's a lot more square to the basket, and he's kind of twisting at the top to turn his shoulder as opposed to turning his whole body, right? And then, like I said at the top, you can just see one side he's flinging it. It's a lot more fluid on the right. On the left, it just looks, like he's just kind of throwing the ball at the rim. I remember when I was a kid, I was learning how to shoot. One of my coaches would always tell me, stop throwing the ball and shoot it. He would say that to me all the time. And to me, it made so much sense to me, but like, everybody doesn't always understand what it means when I say that now, because that's what I tell everybody. Stop throwing the ball and shoot it. Shoot it the right way. It looks like on the left, he's throwing the ball. On the right side, it looks like he's starting to shoot it. Now, with that being said, I am not the biggest believer in off-season shooting film. I've been tricked by Giannis. I've been tricked by Ben Simmons. I've been tricked by a lot of players. You see how they're shooting in the summer, and you think, oh my God. But I'm just going to wait and see if the changes he made will last him into the next postseason, because that's when we really need Jayson Tatum to hit, because he still played great in the playoffs. He just wasn't making shots at the clip that we're used to. Still scoring, still rebounding, still defending. So let's see if he can go through an entire season with updated mechanics and see if he's able to fight the habits that he's built up the past couple years and really perform the way he's going to need to if the Celtics want to have any shot at being the first team to repeat in a little while.